internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world. XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours of Crypto. Let's get right into today's video. Fasten your seatbelts because David Schwartz just replied to this.
Fake press releases by Ripple talking about all this bank stuff. Fake press releases by Ripple talking about all this bank stuff is going to get people to FOMO in.
And what he says here is going to completely blow your mind. It is absolutely amazing that David actually replied after we made a 20-minute video covering how stupid this individual was that was talking down XRP and Ripple, where they had no idea, zero information, okay? They lack so much knowledge, it is disturbing. And I'm gonna go over what David Schwartz says here, because he did reply to his little video that he took everywhere, like his little evidence. Remember, this was his evidence.
Those are good target markets. Banks, it's very sexy when you close a deal with the bank. You know, and we do that sometimes, but they're very slow movers. They're very slow to execute. They're very conservative. They're never going to be Ripple success stories, and it's hard to get them to push the benefits down to their customers.
Yeah, banks are never going to use XRP. Here's my evidence.
They're never going to be Ripple success stories, and it's
like, this is crazy. Is this an adult or is this a kid? Okay, this is the last time I'm going to be making a video on this, just because David replied to the video. We're going to go over it, and then we're going to cover why we all need to be on standby. Something major is going to happen, and USDT is being targeted. Wait until you hear what was stated in the Department of Treasury, pretty much crypto outlook that was just released. There's so much information here which we didn't get to in yesterday's episode. This is going to completely blow your mind, and words cannot describe what we're about to enter in this whole ecosystem, okay? But listen to what David Schwartz replied to. I think people may be misunderstanding what I was trying to say here. The thing they misunderstand, you got to understand, he's got to be polite in his shoes. I mean, go watch the other video that I made 2 days ago, link in the description down below. The thing they misunderstand me to be saying is probably also something that I would agree with, but it's not what I meant to say. By banks will not be Ripple success stories, what I mean is that even if Ripple does some deals with big banks, even if it works out great for both sides, the bank will not likely to be transformed or significantly changed because it was a big and successful to start with. And that's wonderful. Brett replied saying, you're playing mental gymnastics here. So what did you really mean, right? He says, I meant to say that even if a partnership between Ripple and a bank works really well and is a success story, the bank won't become a Ripple success story the same way a small or new business could become one. Imagine you're a small candle maker and you do two deals, one with Walmart and one with a brand new boutique shop. Both decided to heavily promote your candles and both do very well selling them. Which of those do you think would value the partnership more? Right? The smaller one. Wow, this is just incredible just reading this. Do you understand the importance of what he just said? He pretty much just said that's why we all see these, smaller payment providers, these payment processors coming out and saying we're using Ripple XRP, right? But this pretty much clarifies that there are big banks out there, but they're just not revealing what tech is being used because it's not a big wow moment because they're already massive institutions. Wow, that is just remarkable. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And then wonderful Brett replies saying something, I'm not going to get into it. We're just going to cover David's. I'm saying you want to do both because, so pretty much you want to partner with both because they produce different results. You can make a meaningful impact on a small partner and enable them to launch a business lines they otherwise couldn't. With large partners, you can make them a bit more profitable or efficient, but their customers may not even see any benefits at all. Like, do you understand how big this is? And the fact that David Schwartz came out and said this is monumental. And guess what? It just adds another layer of solid information that was discussed in this video. Like, I tell you guys, experience in a real world life matters so much, right? 95% of these individuals you see on Twitter that talk down XRP, they haven't even held a job for probably more than 6 years or 5 years. They're probably bouncing around, let alone hold a position in a highly regulated institution for 10 years, like I have done myself. Okay, this is not to stroke my own ego. I tell you guys this, but I'm giving you what I've dealt. I can't even comprehend and tell you all the stuff that I've seen in my life, right? There's so much events that happen, and I've learned through being in a regulated industry my whole life. And that is why crypto is going to be a game changer. And that is why I'm applying my knowledge that I've gained in my 10 years into crypto. And that is why we present information like we do on this channel, like no other channel on YouTube. That is a fact. And if you think, oh, you're just boosting your ego, you're getting annoying, unsubscribe, unfollow, leave a dislike. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, I know 100% that we are going to win at the end. That is a fact without a doubt. And that is why we are on this journey together. And the ones that don't see it and the ones that want to hate, like, you guys are completely messed up. Okay, be a better person. That's all I got to say. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. We're going to wrap up this part about what David said. Again, pretty much I've told you guys that evidence that this guy brings to the table, it's, I can't believe it. 0 brain cells. Okay, I'm done. I am done. So now let's get into the Department of Debt Management, the Department of Treasury just released. And look at this. This was put together back in 1789. And remember when we talked about, the stock market, 1700s, everything's changing. Well, this PDF, this organization that was put together in 1789 is telling you things are about to change. And listen to this. Private money during the wildcat banking era in the 1800s was regularly subject to panics, collapses in value, and ultimately required the government to step and issue a single unified form of money. And listen to this. History indicates that stablecoins cannot function as private money and will ultimately need to be strictly regulated like government money market funds are today to hold risk-free collateral. And remember this video that I play all the time by Jerome Powell.
The potentially fast and wide adoption of a global stablecoin, potentially a global currency governed only by the incentives of a private company, is something that will deserve and will receive the highest level of regulatory expectations and will receive the highest level of regulatory expectations.
And I say this is why they went after Ripple and XRP. Do you see how all the puzzle pieces are coming together? I have no idea how they're going to regulate Tether. We are going to see a black swan event. It could happen this year. It could happen next year. It could happen 2 years from now. But we will, mark my words, we will see a stablecoin collapse 100%. That is without a doubt. And when that happens, the whole market is going to take a hit. But remember what I said previously. It depends when this happens. Because if assets with utility are thriving in the regulated industry, those assets are going to be safe because they're providing real world use case and it's being utilized. So for example, XRP and RLUSD, highly regulated at the highest level possible, right? They're going full throttle. They can take that dump and they could maintain market stability. It is very important for you guys to understand this. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to do a double header. This video, I had to get out immediately. The fact that David replied to this, monumental. It just shows you that the amount of FUD some individuals start. And again, I don't even know why Mikkel debated this individual from the first place. It blows my mind, okay? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Truly, I mean, this is just, it's crazy. And apparently people are telling me this individual wants to debate me. Oh my goodness. My goodness, what is there to debate? Your intelligence level? There's nothing to debate here. If this is your evidence and the only evidence.
Those are good target markets. Banks, it's very sexy when you close a deal with the bank, and we do that sometimes, but they're very slow movers. They're very slow to execute. They're very conservative. They're never going to be Ripple success stories. And it's
that you have, and you're running across the world yelling banks are not going to use XRP.
Fake press releases by Ripple talking about all this bank stuff.
You are delusional. You shouldn't even have a platform because this should be illegal. Some could say the same thing about me, saying, oh, you're spreading the same thing about XRP, blah, blah, blah. No, not at all. I'm not like the rest. My content cannot be comparable to any other XRP YouTuber out there, and that is period. Honestly, period. Like, I mean, I've seen some, and it's just all Twitter talk. Like what? Like, bring real value, bring real information, connect the puzzles, right? Put all the videos together. It's impossible. That is why you have a bunch of AI YouTube channels that just take my content and they just make videos over it. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And if you haven't already, I'm going to make this more public in the next episode. That's why I'm leaving this for last. Yesterday, we released the IGPS Blueprint, and that is the institutional grade crypto portfolio strategy. And in here, you and I will have a 15-minute call to discuss everything about this blueprint and how to set up the most aggressive and bullish portfolio ever. This is for decision making. If you have assets in the bank, 50K, 60K, 100K, 150K, I'm telling you that is not the place to be. Even if you're getting paid out dividends on a monthly basis, the returns that you're going to make within this crypto ecosystem in the coming years is going to be tremendous. And keep in mind, if you have stocks that are in losses, take into consideration of selling out at a loss, taking the funds that you just sold and putting into crypto. That way you sold at a loss, better for taxes, and then you transition it over to crypto. And then crypto, we're in infancy stages, and it is guaranteed, pretty much guaranteed if you pick the right assets, not financial advice, that whatever loss you took on that little portfolio, you're going to make that all back within crypto within the next 2 years, but probably much, much larger than that. And the reason why I say this is because I've done private banking myself for high net worth clients. I begged them. I would beg them. Even when we had client meetings when I wasn't allowed to talk to them about crypto, but I would just talk to them because I wasn't telling them to buy it. I just said, you got to take a look into this. You got to take a look into this. And some of them listened, some of them didn't. But if you have large amounts of money sitting in the banks that isn't in crypto, you have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. All you need to do is practice your patience, your safety. That's it. Patience holding the asset. Safety in terms of keeping your asset safe, and that's it. You do not need financial advisors anymore. You do understand that, right? Every single bank, every single financial advisor in banks right now are clueless about crypto. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to go through a training phase. Why do I say that? Because I've seen stuff like that happen in my life, in my time in the bank, okay? They're all going to go through these little training phases of crypto on their computers. They're going to have like level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're going to learn about DeFi, AI coins, game coins, utility tokens, all that stuff. You've learned all this. You are your own advisor. You are your own bank. You're going to self-custody all your wealth. You got to take advantage of this. Do not get scared. I know some of you guys are older. Some of you guys are hesitant. I've worked with individuals like you, okay? I understand it. I understand you guys don't want to take the risk. I understand you have a family. I understand you are good where you are right now in terms of how maybe your stock portfolios are set up. But I'm telling you, if you're not exposed to crypto, you're making the biggest mistake in your life. And if you heard me just say that and you don't take action, it's going to be 10 times worse. Personally, myself, I'm 99% into crypto. If you have 80% stock, 20% crypto, you're doing it wrong. If you have 50% stock, 50% crypto, you're still doing it a little bit wrong, right? 20% crypto, I mean, that is awful. If you're getting paid a lot of dividends within your investments, keep some. Keep some of those investments if you're happy with the dividends. But you need to understand, there is going to be so much money being made here in crypto. And don't miss this opportunity. When markets tank like this, dollar cost average, we're at $2 trillion. Please, for the love of God, okay, $2 trillion. I want every single one of us to ride this to 10, 20, 30, 40 trillion. It's all going to happen like within years. With less than 3 years, we're going to see this thing 30 trillion. Oh my goodness. It's going to happen so fast that we aren't even going to comprehend how fast it happens. And you're probably wondering, how do you know? They're telling you, just listen to them. Listen to all the videos that we make. This is it. They're not going to replicate these tokens. I want you to also understand that. They're not going to make a new XRP. They're not going to make a new, Cardano. They're not going to make a new, I can't even say Solana. I don't even know how long Solana would last, but like, I'm just saying, like, they're not going to make a new Avalanche. You got to understand, they have been studied. They have been studied this whole time. The XRP ledger has been studied this whole time. You need a system. You need an infrastructure that has a track record of it running without any downtime. And they look at all that stuff. There's so many factors that go into it when they choose these coins that they're going to utilize, right? These coins are all going to be utilized within regulated industry. So really think about it, folks. Like, if I'm telling you, sit down with your loved ones, sit down with your wife, your husband, and really just hunker down and set yourself up. You are your own financial advisor at the end of the day. Think about it. You are creating your own wealth. You don't have to go to a financial advisor and give them, 3% or 4% of your funds? And the more money you give them, the less fees they take. It's disgusting. It's the biggest scam ever. It's the biggest scam ever. That doesn't even make sense. The more, because I'm saying that because that's how we did it. The more money you had, the lesser the fees. The less money you had, the more the fees. Because we don't want to handle small money, so we're going to take a little bit more fees. Oh, you have 10 million? We'll cut down the fee. Like, do you see how this works? It's the banking structure is the biggest Ponzi scheme, in my opinion, in human mankind history. The only reason why we all do this is because, like I said in yesterday's video, like, there is nobody, like, the Ponzi scheme started way before us, right? And we were just kind of born into it, and we were programmed into it. Do you understand that? So we don't know any better until you do your own research and understand how these were all started.
Look, I was around those days as well, and I think one of the things that really catalyzed the growth of kind of the Internet 1.0 was usability.
Yeah.
You know, Mosaic came out as a first browser that evolved into Netscape, that, trying to use some of these technologies that predated the browser as we know it. I mean, people can't even think about the internet before a browser. Mm-hmm. But, those things didn't exist until, I think, 92, 93. Mm-hmm. That was the explosive growth. And so I think, again, when I think about the big picture where we're going over the next 5 years, 10 years, I think we are now focused on abstraction layers that can actually, we don't need to know how the technology works. We don't need to know how SMTP works to send an email. Why do we need to know how to do things with core layer 1 technologies in order to take advantage of them?
This goes deep. I know some of you guys may not even comprehend what I just said, but this is it. This is it. That's all I got to say. 2024, end of 2024, 25. I mean, 2026, you could forget about buying crypto. I'll tell you that right now. 2026, if you don't have crypto, you're out. You're out. You are out. In 2026, I will probably be uploading maybe 4 videos a month, and they're going to be epic. They're going to be very epic. Maybe I'll take 2 Lamborghinis and I'll crash them together and see what happens at a high-speed rage. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Be careful who you listen to. I am so happy that David came out and replied and made it clear of what he meant. I cleared it up for David. But again, be careful who you listen to. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you heard the bombs go off. It looks like XRP is dumping right now. If you're worried about the price, you have no idea what you're holding. We will be back with another video.
With the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch.
I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.